Hello everyone, this is Showtime Moment 2. We are in North Korea flying with a group of F-86 Sabres from 4th Fighter Interceptor Wing, and we are escorting B-29s attacking bridges over Yalu River. The pilot that we will focus on in this video is a World War II veteran with 4 confirmed victories in that conflict. While that wasn't unusual among the American or Soviet pilots flying in the Korean War, it was quite special for a Canadian pilot. Omer Levesque scored his first kill a decade ago, flying Spitfires over occupied Europe, and it was a rather special kill too. We have traveled back to 1941 and we are flying a fighter suite with the pilots of the 401st Squadron of the Royal Canadian Air Force. One of the pilots in this flight is Sergeant Pilot Omer Levesque. He graduated from RCAF's flight training school in April 1941 and he was soon sent to England where he became a member of the 401st Squadron flying Mark V Spitfires. Losses among new Allied pilots were quite high at this point of the war. Flying over enemy-controlled territory meant high probability of capture in case you got shot down. On November 22, 1941, Levesque's squadron was doing a usual fighter sweep over France, when one of the pilots shouted "bandits" over radio. Levesque noticed a flight of enemy fighters coming from the sun with guns blazing. Even at the first glance, their huge radial engines told him that those were not Bf-109s, those were brand new Focke Wulf FW190s. The lead Spitfire and Levesque's lead were both shot down in the attack, and Levesque turned hard to meet the attackers. After a while, he was able to get on the tail of one of them and score some hits. The damaged aircraft dove away, with Levesque following him all the way down. Eventually, Levesque placed some more good shots and Focke-Wulf was finished. Levesque became the first Canadian to shoot down the new German fighter and one of the first Allied pilots to do so as well. But the fight wasn't over. Some more Focke-Wulfs appeared. Even though he was in a disadvantageous position, Levesque managed to shoot down one more aircraft while others scattered. The second kill, however, was unconfirmed. Levesque's final mission of World War II was nothing short of spectacular. In February 1942, he was flying fighter cover for British units attacking German warships, Scharnhorst and Gneisenau. During the mission, he shot down 2 more Focke-Wulfs and 1 Bf-109. However, he was shot down himself and captured. He spent the next 3 years in Stalag Luft 3. a POW camp where he was involved in the famous escape attempt which later inspired the movie The Great Escape. He wasn't among the officers selected for the attempt, but he worked on the tunnels. This was probably good luck because most POWs who escaped were later caught and shot by the Germans. After the war ended, Levesque continued his Royal Canadian Air Force career flying C-47s and de Havilland Vampires. In 1950 he was offered some exchange tours. The first choice, flying Meteors with the RAF, wasn't to his liking. In his own words, he didn't want to fly that old crate. His wish was to go to the USA and fly the best available fighter, F-86 Sabre. The wish came true and he joined the 334th Fighter Interceptor Squadron, which was soon deployed to Korea. In December 1950, he became the first Canadian pilot to fly a combat mission in the Korean War. He would soon accomplish an even more distinguished achievement. As the flight of Sabres was approaching Yalu River, the flight lead first called MiGs to the right. After dropping fuel tanks, 2 more MiGs were spotted at 9 o'clock, and Levesque's flight turned to meet this threat. The MiG first attempted to lose Levesque by flying into the sun, and when this failed, a turning fight developed in which both planes dropped to a much lower altitude. Levesque was eventually able to hit the MiG, which rolled and dived out of control, crashing into the ground. This wasn't the end for Levesque. As he pulled away, another MiG appeared behind him. He climbed towards the sun and started doing barrel rolls. The MiG eventually disappeared. Levesque then found himself in the middle of the B-29 formation, which mistook him for a MiG and opened fire. Fortunately they missed, and after some wing waggling, the fire stopped. Levesque then realized his fuel was at bingo status and he returned home. In this mission, he not only became an ace after 9 years of pause after his last kill, he was also the first Canadian pilot ever to shoot down a MiG. For this mission, he was awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross. He flew 71 operational sorties in the Korean War. After the return, he continued his Royal Canadian Air Force career until 1965. I hope you liked the video. Be sure to press the like button if you did. This is a huge help for the channel. If you're able to support the channel on Patreon, that would be even bigger help. Subscribe if you haven't else already, and keep watching Showtime Moment 2.